everyone, it's me, Darlene. I am in Hannaford's parking lot for the last time. It would have to take something incredible to get me back here as a customer again. So I'm going to tell you about that. You know that I love the roast beef here. Old neighborhood roast beef. It's the only roast beef I will buy because I have tried it everywhere else and I don't like it. My issue is, every time I ask for it, they're at the butt end, and they will not cut a new one so that I can get 3 or 4 pounds of nice pink roast beef. They say, well, we have some over there packaged, pre-sliced, but they're slices that are kind of thick, and I don't want that. I want them super thin, so I always leave. Now, you guys know that I've even cried in this store over roast beef before, and if I remember right, the issue was that I thought I was clear that it needed to be pink, and don't keep, slicing it if we're getting down to the butt end. But she kept slicing it until we got down to the butt end and said something like, well, no, I can't start a new one. I was like, but I said don't bother slicing it. I'm not taking that now because it's the butt end. If she could have got a pound out of it, that would have been great. And I was so upset that I bothered to explain my needs, and it was ignored. And I ended up crying to a manager. I'll have to link to that video down below. So this time I go, it was on sale. Geez, I don't know. I'm worried about glare here because I can't see my screen at all. I don't know what you guys can see. Let me move. I don't know if this is any better. So my roast beef is on sale. And I thought, I'll get 3 or 4 pounds, depending what the roast beef looks like. So I asked, and I'm not kidding, that, it was like this close to the end. And obviously the end, it gets smaller and smaller slices. It's not pink anymore. I don't know who wants to eat that shit, but I don't. I certainly don't want to pay that much money for the butt-ass end of a roast beef. So I explained, can't take it. He's like, well, if you want 3 pounds, he says, it'll probably only go to like here. And I'm like, yeah, that's still the end. So I said, no, never mind. And as I was walking through the store, filling my carriage with all kinds of things that I had on a list, it's like, how come I can't come to a store and ask for roast beef the way I want it and leave the store with fucking roast beef? Why is that so difficult? Oh, before I left the deli, I did ask, somebody else could hear what we were saying. I wasn't upset at all. And she came up and she said, yeah, corporate doesn't let us do it. And I was like, but what would be the reason behind that? And she started saying about how it's more waste. And I was like, how can it be more waste? So she started explaining it, and it was making no sense at all. I'm like, but that's what would happen even if you're using one thing. There's 2 ends to a whole one. If you cut it in half, there's still just 2 ends to a whole one. So she couldn't come up with a good reason as to why it was waste. She even said something like, it's a waste because when we cut it in half, we have to throw the first slice out. So that would be a first slice like on both sides. And I'm like, you'd rather lose a sale than waste a slice? And, if you're cutting it in half for me, I'll take the fucking slice in the middle. You don't have to waste it. Put it on the paper and weigh it. I'll take that first slice. It's brand new. It was just cut. So I wasn't buying that. So then I went shopping, and I kept thinking about it. So when I went to the register, I stopped at customer service because I was like, I just want to be heard. And I know that I've been heard before, but apparently it's not a big deal to people. And again, it makes me feel like I'm being too particular. I don't think it's wrong to say, I would like some roast beef center cut. If you have to fucking charge me more for it, charge me more. I should be able to buy what I want. So I explained to the woman at customer service, and she was almost like surprised, like, why can't they just cut it in the middle? So I explained to her that I didn't really get a good explanation for that. So she says, let me get you the store manager. So the store manager comes, and it's a woman who was there and could hear my conversation. It's funny how she didn't bother to approach me and say, I do want to explain this to you. And, so she comes up to me and I said, oh, you were there. You know what I'm going to talk about. She goes, yeah. She goes, I could hear. And I said, I just think it's bizarre that I have to leave this store without roast beef. I said, I come here almost every week for something, and I probably get roast beef 1 out of 10 times that I ask for it because it's never in the middle. So she explained that it has to do with a coating system. When they cut that fucker in half, now there's 2 sticks instead of 1. They call that a stick. And they can't coat it. And I said, you can't, put a little sticker on it. She goes, there's no wrapping. What am I going to do? Put a sticker on meat? And I was like, you can't put a wrapping and put a sticker? She says, corporate has no way for us to do this. No system set up. So I can't just say we're going to cut something in half and do that for you. So then she started suggesting that I could call before coming in. And see, I don't get that. What does calling in advance have to do with it? Oh, because they're doing maybe the ones for slicing for the store? So that's probably what she meant. Call in advance, and then maybe when we're doing our daily slicing for the easy ones to pick up, we could slice for you. But I was like, I don't want to call in the morning and then feel like I really have to go to the store in case things change. I said, I don't feel like as a customer I should have to make additional steps just to get what I want. I'm ordering roast beef. It's not like I'm ordering some platter of something that I want made a specific way. And it just doesn't make sense. I had said to her, it would be like going into Dunkin' Donuts and saying, oh, the donut there, the third one up, I'll take that one. No, you have to have the first one in line. That would be ridiculous. You'd be like, why can't I have that donut? This one's first. So she says, well, we don't get many people who are concerned as to the roast beef. And I said, but you're getting me, and you lose a lot of money by me not buying that. And it makes me feel like not shopping here because I don't feel valued. And I feel like I'm bothering people by even having them show me. Even if I walk away, it's like, oh, she doesn't want it. No, it's not pink enough. I'll go get it over there. No, I don't want the pre-sliced. It's too thick. So then she said, what was her other suggestion? She said, she did have another suggestion. What was it? I can't remember. So I just wasn't liking what she was coming out with. I just felt like it wasn't a good reason. And she said something about, she wasn't saying the word corporate. What was she saying? Oh, I wish I would have had my camera in my purse turned on. I wouldn't have cared if they would have known that I recorded all this. Marketing? I don't know. It was something. She's like, well, you could call them and, tell them how you feel about it. And I was like, that shouldn't be my job. I shouldn't have to change it. You know that I'm a customer not getting something she would like. The manager of the store, or if that's what she was, should be more concerned and should say things like, I will contact somebody and see for the heck of it. Let me know the next time you're here, and I'll let you know what I find out. But no, it was like all put on me. Call us in advance, or just, And then she ended up saying something else. It was something else that was throwing the ball in my court. Like, I could do this if I wanted. And I was like, I don't want to do that just to get some fucking roast beef. And she goes, you do not have to swear. And I said, yes, I do. I was like, at this point, I knew I was done with this store. And I said, and you know what? You can have all of this shit. I probably had over $100 worth of groceries. I was stocking up on eggs. I had milk. I had cream. I had a bunch of different cheeses to freeze. I bought 6 packages of meat. And I mean, I was stocking up on all kinds of things. And I also had to pick up my one prescription that I get here, which I will be changing to Walmart now. And I told her, here, you can have all this shit. I says, you've lost me as a customer. And I walked out. And I was loud. I was loud enough that everybody around could hear me. And that's what I wanted. So, I'm not, heartbroken over this. I am going to miss Hannaford because it is close and it's cheaper than Walmart on a lot of items, but I just can't keep shopping here. I just can't. So they lost me. I just don't want to even run in for bread. Oh my God, my mother's bread. Her favorite bread in the world. I didn't even think of that. That's the one thing that makes me sad. I'm going to have to find a different place to get bread for my mother. I wish we had more choices for grocery stores. What do we have? Hannaford, Walmart. I mean, other than like Rogers, which, you know, he's expensive for things like that. He has good prices on meat, but I'm not going to start buying bread there. I can send Nancy here. Oh my God. It'll give Nancy another job when, you know, there's not a lot to do, that she can come here to buy the bread for my mother. I really think the bread is the only thing that I really have to get here, other than the roast beef, which I never can get. So I can have Nancy do that. Oh my God, I'm so happy that I didn't make my mother have to lose her bread, because I would tell my mother, you can never have that bread again because I'm not going there anymore. But Nancy can come here. And I can always get my milk at Rogers. I can always get my meat at Rogers. As it was, I was buying ground beef here that I know I was not going to like, but it was on sale and it had even a reduced sticker, meaning it's at least a day old. And I was like, I'm going to regret this. But then I thought, then I won't have to go to Rogers and get some ground beef. But when I was buying chicken breast and everything, but no, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it because I didn't feel good about shopping there. So Hannaford car vlogs are over. I mean, unless there would be some emergency, a bread emergency. I do need ground beef, so I'm going to swing by Rogers now. I'll talk to you again from Rogers parking lot. Oh, we got some snow. Not too much, but some. to finish chatting with you guys from this camera because I now do chats while I'm driving for patrons and YouTube members. It's just another way that I can just, you know, talk about things. You guys will see the ride along, but I'll be talking and you won't hear that part because that goes to patrons and YouTube members. Just trying to always have something different for patrons and members, and I appreciate that I have that stream of revenue very much, because now I'm going to have to start spending more on groceries, because Hannaford I really could get a lot of good deals there. But the good thing is that I'm just not going to shop as much. You know, I was buying a bunch of cheese. I'm not really thrilled with the fact that I eat cheese because it's dairy, and I just do better when I'm on just meat and water, a beef especially. And I never really buy meat there unless it's something really on special. So there are things that I'm going to miss, but I'm not going to miss that additional store shopping trip, because every time I step foot in a store I end up spending more than I went for. So, you know, I can get everything I need at Walmart, and if it's too pricey I'll just skip it. So it'll be good in that way. And then maybe I will have a Walmart tag along every week, maybe sometimes more than once in that week. And you know, I can't take my camera into Hannaford, so you know, it's I'm sad, but I'm not. I knew when I was saying it that it meant I couldn't go there. I knew after I swore and said fuck loud enough for customers to hear that I was burning my bridge, and that's what I wanted. And it just really was very upsetting. It's very upsetting that you can't go into a fucking store and come out with roast beef, the kind that you want. I just think it's nuts. Hannaford lost a customer that I feel that they are happy to lose because they were tired of me wanting roast beef. And, you know, like I said, I even cried over that once because I felt so humiliated. All right, I'm going to say bye now. I will give you guys the ride home, assuming there's enough time. I left the camera on the whole time I was in Rogers. Oh, I didn't even tell you what I got. Shoot, everything's in the back. I want to show you guys at least one thing. I did need eggs, and I had picked up 4 dozen at Hannaford. I'm not kidding. I had over $100 easy in my cart, and I was so happy to leave all that there, have them put that away. And the dozen was $1.69, and I was good with that. But Rogers eggs are usually expensive, but they had the same large eggs, $1.50 on sale, so I got that. And I did get this for my mother. It's not the Italian bread she likes, but it's the Shorefine brand. But she doesn't like the Shorefine white that I get here sometimes because she says it breaks apart. But I thought maybe at least this will get her through until I can start putting Nancy on bread shopping duty. Oh, let me get my bags this way. You don't have to see the milk or the ground beef because you've seen that stuff enough. Oh, I have to go to the post office. Can't forget that. I won't. All right, I got some chicken hearts. I feel like simmering those. I just cooked them, I don't know, maybe an hour. I simmer that. And they are $1.69 per pound. I just love to eat chicken hearts, my mother too. So this is our special treat for the day I had. $1.69 per pound. I paid $2.43 for this. I can't see what you're seeing. Chicken hearts. I also grabbed one of these little fake crab meat thingies. I do like that, but again, I need to buy it at Walmart because it's much cheaper per pound. My mother, okay, you know I bought her the caramel covered sour green apple lollipops, and I told you that the coating on those is like Sugar Daddy's, and I can't find Sugar Daddy's anywhere, but Rogers is the kind of store where you can find candy, old-fashioned candy. And I did want to say that, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I used to eat those a lot, way back in the day. In the 90s, I remember, because I remember what apartment I was living in when I used to buy those all the time. They were pretty big. I mean, like, you know, a circle big. And now it's like, I told my mother, I was like, they look small, and they're more like oval, much smaller. I would say by close to half of what they used to be. But she loves them, so I think those are going to be a new staple in her candy pile. But anyway, I was checking out, and I found a sugar daddy. So she's going to be so excited. This will probably last her a week. She'll have a container and put it back, like her dentures. And I did grab a roast, $2.99 per pound. It's a shoulder oven pot roast, and it's not chuck, but yeah. So, but I need something, because I did buy 10 pounds of ground beef, and I can live off that. But I like stuff like this. At Hannaford, I had chicken breast with the bone and the skin. That's the way I want it, to broil it. So I was sad to lose that, but they have here boneless breast, no skin, no bone. I'm paying for just meat, $1.39 per pound, but you have to buy a 10-pound bag. I bought 2 gigantic bags like this. One was $14 even, and this one is $14.04. So 10 pounds of pure chicken meat breast, and I'm going to just take these out of the bag and individually wrap them. I think I have enough room in my freezer, and that's going to be good. And what I love about breasts, when they're boneless like that, you can take that out of the freezer, and in no time, let me get that way over there. In no time, they're thawed enough that you can just slice it with a knife when it's even somewhat still frozen. And it's just, you can do so much with chicken, so I'm so happy to have that. I'm glad that at least it's ending on a good note, even though I lost, Hannaford, because I did like going there. All right, you guys, I'm going to say bye. I will give you the ride home, and thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back with more soon. Bye!